Good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning into today's very special, different video on YouTube. But before that, are you ready to be quite skeptical here because you know what I'm gonna say next, don't you? Oh, that's just great! Oh, at least all that hot air in his truck with nowhere to go! I know some people have been very skeptical of late. I certainly am, because obviously the cold July that we're having at the moment is just utter disgusting. And of course, yes, I did spoke about the real reasons why this UK has been straightforward cold this summer, and it doesn't even make sense for a July to be very cold. It's meant to be one of the hottest, if not the warmest, months of the year in this country, and also the rest of the Northern Hemisphere. I know Australia is seeing lots and lots of cold weather, about -12 and down under. Oh, flippin' hell. Anyways, of course, yes, we're stuck in the Northern Hemisphere summer, and it's straightforward cold. And to prove to you of just how stupidly cold it is, I'm going to show you the meteorological weather map. And yes, that just came in straightforward just after the election, which happened on Independence Day, which is America's biggest event. And of course, yes, I'll just show you the pressure chart. Yes, we know there's a band of rain coming in from like tonight, but let me just show you. Look what's happening with this jet stream. It's actually still sticking persistently far beyond the south. And what that also means is, yes, we've got two high pressure systems around there's the Azores high pressure, but notice there's a high pressure developing up in Greenland. I might show you later on. You might be able to see it later on. And if I scroll like that, we get a low pressure system right here. Moving all the way towards Scandinavia, but we've also got this high pressure system all the way towards Greenland and Iceland. And that's never a good sign, because we're going in a northwesterly direction, because we're also dumping in some low pressure and high pressure at the same time, and that means cooler, moist air. And that's very disappointing for this year's summer. We may have some low pressure hanging around in the south, but of course, yes, yeah, those temperatures are just stupidly cold, and I think that could be the last of it, but it's not. Unfortunately, I think this weather has been totally and utterly neglected to see why the hell summer is over, and it seems like that summer is officially cancelled. To compensate, I don't know how the summer holidays are going to be like. It will be a huge blow if it was going to be a continuous, or let's just say, I don't know what to really say here, but a continuous wet spell or cold spell, or even a hot spell. Mind you, I'd love to see people in their school uniforms on a really hot day. But obviously, that's not it, I'm afraid. Just rubbish. Just unforgivably rubbish. Just absolutely stupidly cold. I mean, look at this. 8 degrees. That's more like something you feel in January, or December, or maybe let's just say October, or March. Anywhere like November. It actually makes me think of a cold month. You know, polar bears drinking cocaine. You know, Santa Claus having a prostate exam. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer having post-traumatic stress disorder moments. And ADHD. And even Santa's elves. I don't know. I just really want to close these down because, you know, that's not part of the deal. And, you know, I don't know what to really say. It's just way beyond stupid, and I might as well just show you what's outside in the garden. I'm actually going to be walking outside into the garden now. Let me just go ahead and open the doors. Okay, I'm outside into the garden here. We've actually got a lot of good news, and we've actually got a lot of bad news. Well, the good news is, here are some new plant pots being transplanted. I have lots of sunflowers and tomato plants, which have been transplanted, but we've also got this one here. And do you know where I actually got this one from? Bourneville Garden Centre, and it was actually provided from this flower right here. And also, check out these new plants I've just planted from like, well, when was it? I think it was from like, at the very beginning of this week, of just how stupidly cold it was. Nice to have these little plant beds for £4 or £5, 2 for 5, because, you know, makes it for a nice convenient way to accommodate more plants in an upcoming crowded garden. I mean, it's just so hard to accommodate more plants these days. It's really hard. But we've got tomato plants. They've certainly done such a grand job, especially in such cold weather like this. I might have to probably take them inside, but then, hey, you know, ho-hum. I've actually got more sunflower seedlings. I feel like these are going to die, you know, because I think they're just overcrowding the whole place, you know. I might have to transplant one of these, and I might also show you some more of these. These are like salvia plants. They've grown nice and efficient. Marigolds, how nice is that? And we've also got some wildflower seedlings starting to pop out. Now that's somehow really cool. And we've also got some tomato seedlings as well. That one there's, of course, it's grown nice and tall. I'm really surprised that this is one of the first tomato seedlings that I've just planted. Then I've also planted this, which is a sunflower seedling. It's actually grown nice and tall. And I've also got those tomato plants here. It started to pop up some flowers here. I think these are like cherry tomatoes, I think. And then I've also got more petunias here. I also got petunias. There's my radish crop here, and of course, as lazy as this sounds, I forgot to actually crop down the number of radishes. It's just stupidly high. But we've got a lot of bad news here. Unfortunately, the radishes that I've just planted, they've all failed. Well, basically, most if not all of them failed because there's been a lot of bugs, which unfortunately have decided to kill them off and eat them off. And it's not very good news, I'm afraid. Let me just show you the meadow. It's all looking good, nice and green. Luckily enough, I've got a nice Power 5 meadows here. They're all going nicely and well, by the looks of it indeed. That's somehow very good and cool to look at. And I don't know, it seems somehow a little bit unknown to talk of just how incredible this garden is. I've just also transplanted this lavender here. I might give this a night of water because, you know, I'm just fearful it might start to die out, but yet again, it's a drought-tolerant plant. Then there's also these ones here. I don't know what these are. They look like bloody weeds. And you've also got some fuchsias. And of course, yes, there's actually been some more dead fuchsia flower plants, which unfortunately have just died off. I'm really surprised of just how saddening this is. They've got about quite a lot of casualties of fuchsia flowers that have just died off. And I don't know how the hell am I going to deal with this issue of just fuchsia flowers just dying. But what I'm also seeing, some good news, we're getting lots and lots of fuchsia plants that are just starting to blossom out, and that's nice. But unfortunately, we're starting to see a decay on this fuchsia plant. Probably either because I put it in the shade, or either on the fact that probably because, you know, it's way too cold for fuchsias. I think that's probably very upsetting to hear. Of course, here we've got marigolds. They're doing very good. Fairly okay. This flower here is also doing nicely, which I presume is a weed. And we've also got those marigolds here, and we've got the wild lettuce, and also I've also added some daisies. But we've actually got some very bad news and sad news for the calendula. And I know these two buds are starting to pop out. Unfortunately, this one here has lost the original bud because I noticed there were some infected leaves that I've taken out, and unfortunately that main head of the calendula is died. But nevertheless, we've somehow got more of those calendula flowers coming out later in this year, and somehow what colors are we getting? I think we might be getting, let's just say, a yellowish type flower, but I might be totally wrong, and possibly an orange one. Okay, yeah, so maybe they should be hopefully fully open during the summer holidays. Correct me if I'm wrong. The daisies looking like they are just dying off. And we've also got this great big long wild cabbage flower plant that has actually been doing so incredibly well. And it's one of the most successful plants I've actually transplanted. And thank goodness, look at that. Look at how amazingly awesome this plant is. It's a whoppingly big, giant weed. Look at that. Look at this thing. It has grown massive. You know, I feel like I want to prune that thing from like winter time, but I just don't want to because look at the flowers. It is just beyond massive. It is increasingly big and just far way beyond the other plants. It's just so chronically awesome. And then we've also got more bad news. Unfortunately, we've actually lost another marigold. One of the marigolds have just died off. So we've currently got about 5 of these left. 5 marigolds left. But hopefully, everything should be okay. I might be able to transplant and buy some more flowers. You know, that could be a great thing to do so. Maybe I need to buy more plant pots, if that's okay. But, yeah, that's about it. And also the tomato seedlings. Well, the majority of the tomato seedlings, they've unfortunately died off, and they've actually been passed away somehow for some reason. It's just really sad. I couldn't really get some more tomato seeds. But nevertheless, I've also planted some more seeds right here. I think I've actually decided to plant more flowers in this seed tray. I can't really remember. I haven't really quite worked out yet. There's a little hoverfly being attracted by some sort of weird crippled flower. Not sure if you can see that, but it looks totally nice and glorious somehow to see. Can you see it? There's a hoverfly perched on a broken flower. But nevertheless, it looks a-okay, looking oh so good. That there I believe is I think it's Mesembrine or something, I can't really remember. I think it's one of these flowers. Now I've just sneezed. Just briefly how rubbish is what it is. Okay. That there I believe is foxglove. Lots and lots and lots of other flowers I've just planted, and I'll show you the other side. There's lots and lots of seedlings here. I can't really tell which seedlings are, but I'm probably presuming those are lavender seedlings. I might be totally wrong, but I think that's what they are. Anyways, I might have a look at the lavender again. I might as well just water down the lavender itself, because, you know, that thing might potentially dry off, but we'll see how it goes. And there's all that sack of nastiness, all fodder and all on the garden. Anyways, I think that's probably about it in this video. There's been lots of good news and bad news in this garden here, so rest in peace to the tomato seedlings, the rest of them of course. But I will start to plant some more if I have some time in the future, if I can do so. Anyways, I think that's about it in this video. Please give this video a bit of a like if you really enjoyed it. Subscribe for more for videos in the future, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye for now.